Tonight on the Black Channel, folks in Atlanta are getting their wake-up call that white supremacy wants its corners back. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, yes, indeed, Ice Cube said it decades ago. Yeah, decades ago, homie got shot. He's a goner black. I changed that. We took over the city for the black, but white supremacy wants its corners back. And no less than Atlanta here. Boy, first the turkey leg hut and all over the place. Next thing you know, here we go. Full-scale assault just when you thought it was safe. Just when you thought it was going to be easy. Just when you were telling everybody we got everything in hand. Oh, no. I keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening out there. And lo and behold, this is what is happening here. Fox 5 in Atlanta, gonna give you the rundown.
Atlanta City Councilman's efforts to reduce violence happening around Atlanta clubs and other businesses hits a bit of a speed bump, and there's doubt that anything's gonna get done to strengthen Atlanta's public nuisance regulation.
Now, did you hear that right there? Did you hear the way that sentence was constructed?
Atlanta City Councilman's efforts to reduce violence happening around Atlanta clubs and other businesses hits a bit of a speed bump, and there's doubt that anything's going to get done to...
Well, that's not a loaded sentence right there. Why, an Atlanta councilman's efforts to deal with crime and violence around Atlanta's clubs and the places there hits the speed bump. Looks like nothing's going to get done. And, I mean... listen to how they're setting up the prelude to the actual news piece itself. Both the white man and the black woman, by the way. Listen to the way in which they set this up, man. Listen to the way they set this up.
Atlanta City Councilman's efforts to reduce violence happening around Atlanta clubs and other businesses hits a bit of a speed bump, and there's doubt that anything's going to get done to strengthen Atlanta's public nuisance regulation.
A powerful group of black entertainers and club owners have warned city council members the proposal could unfairly shut them down. Fox 5's Morse Diggs has the debate and tells us if the measure can survive.
Now, I want you all to listen to that one more damn time. Let me tell you about falling down the damn rabbit hole. Now, listen to what they just said one more time. And if it sounds like I'm getting more ventilated, it's because I am. Listen to this one more damn time.
Atlanta City Councilman's efforts to reduce violence happening around Atlanta clubs and other businesses hits a bit of a speed bump, and there's doubt that anything's going to get done to strengthen Atlanta's public nuisance regulation.
A powerful group of black entertainers and club owners have warned city council members the proposal could unfairly shut them down. Fox 5's Morse Diggs has the
A powerful group of entertainers and club owners? What the hell? When was the last time that you heard a singer or a club owner referred to as a powerful group? Somebody help me out here. Somebody help me out here. When was the last time you heard somebody refer to a group of entertainers and club? A powerful group of entertainers and club. What? When the hell has that ever been? They're acting like this is the Damn Me Heritage Foundation or the Koch brothers. They're acting like this is the Tea Party or something. What are you talking about? A powerful group of entertainers and club owners. They're acting like this is Sierra Club or something. Like this is Black Rock. You would swear that this wasn't black rappers, that this was Black Rock. Like this is Exxon. Like this is the Petroleum Club. Or the Petroleum Foundation. That's what you would think it was from what they just said. You'd be expecting this was Silicon Valley. Let them tell it. In the chat room, strippers are a voting block. I guess. Is that what they're trying to say? Let them tell it. You would think it was Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. You'd think this was Elon Musk the way they're talking. I'm sure that Killer Mike and 2 Chainz just found out that they are a powerful group. You must be, the damn TV station just said it. You must be a powerful group. Wow. You would swear that they own the Westin downtown. You would swear, did they ever refer to Ted Turner as a powerful media mogul who controls Atlanta? Did they ever refer to him that way? I mean, it's insane. That's why I told you all, if you thought what the white man said was bad, wait till you hear what the black woman's got to say.
Anything's going to get done to strengthen Atlanta's public nuisance regulation.
A powerful group of black entertainers and club owners have warned city council members the proposal could unfairly shut them down. A Fox 5's Morse Diggs has the debate and tells us if the measure can survive.
Pepto on deck. Boy, I'm telling you, I thought I was ready for this. Clearly, I'm not. But let's hear about this powerful consortium of entertainers and club owners. Folks, I mean, we used to define powerful as folks who own whole industries, not somebody who owns a little old building. Powerful. Wow.
In simple terms, the legislation aims to go after repeat offenders where there's some kind of crime or violence around the property. Well, they say under that definition, Lenox Square could have a complaint filed against them because there have been a number of incidents within a couple of years.
I'd like to address some of the blatant...
Now, this is the white man right here, by the way. And you all know I've talked about this. I think his name is Diggs, whatever his name is. This is the white man right here, by the way. So if you want to know who's the one pushing it. Yeah, first you start hearing about them kicking up dust about Buckhead and want to branch that off. Now here this comes. You know why? Because Atlanta didn't sink into the damn sea. When black folk got a hold of Atlanta, you turned it into something resembling affluent, something resembling successful, and then they're like, oh hell, it's not going to go sinking. It's not going to become Detroit. We got to get our corners back. The busiest airport in the world is in Atlanta? Who the hell let that happen? We got to get our corners back. And what built Atlanta into what it is today? Entertainment, black folk from the soil. Not from the corporations down, but from the grassroots up. So they're like, yeah, we coming to get our corners back. But if you want to know who's responsible for it, there he is.
lies and misrepresentation.
Incidents within a couple of years.
I'd like to address some of the blatant lies and misrepresentation.
At City Hall, if an Atlanta leader publicly makes a claim about, quote, lies, it's an indication a significant bill is in trouble. Gunshots or repeated crimes around not just nightclubs, but all businesses are what city leaders are trying to address. The courts already have a public nuisance law. The current effort is to establish a timeline to potentially shut down businesses where incidents occur over and over.
Okay, you get that. Atlanta already has a public nuisance law. It's already got that. They don't need a public nuisance law. They already have one. Then I was like, oh, no. We need to do this in a way that targets y'all. Now you're hearing, well, we want to change it so it changes the timeline of which. However, there are some significant questions that got asked, and wait till you hear the answers to some of those questions.
Owners and entertainers such as rapper 2 Chainz, who owns 2 clubs, Killer Mike, and Michael Barney from worldwide known Magic City all gave city council members an earful.
Somebody came to that club who had a bad attitude or something stupid. It wasn't the club. It was just that person, the same person who went to the mall or to the gas station who shot somebody. It's not the club people's fault.
Can you confirm that large venues and arenas will be held to the same standard, such as the Benz Stadium or Lenox Mall?
The security guard who was shot while working last night at Lenox Square Mall remains.
Fox 5 has reported on repeated acts of crime, including shootings at Atlanta's Premier Mall. The club owners complained city officials nor the courts would make such a move on the mall.
The base of the confusion really lies within what this ordinance does.
Sponsor council.
Yeah. This Dustin Hillis guy, and by the way, he's a repeat offender in this way. This councilman Dustin Hillis is a repeat offender. This isn't his first time trying to do things like this. So this guy is actually a repeat offender when you go over his record. But yeah, y'all heard what they said. The sports stadium, Lenox Mall, the rest of them. Oh, no. They'll be exempt. No, this doesn't apply to them. It doesn't apply to them. No. No, the big venues owned by white folk, they'll be exempt from that. They'll be exempt. No, just you Negroes over there. If something happens where you are, well, we gonna go after you. Okay, well, does that also apply to the white folks who own Lenox Mall and the white folks who own the baseball stadium and the football stadium? Oh, no. Those are exempt. We're not looking at them. Let me go ahead and back it up again. They had the little Asian lady. They got a clip of her asking that. These are the kind of things that we need to make sure of and keep on their necks about, though.
Can you confirm that large venues and arenas will be held to the same standard, such as the Benz Stadium or Lenox Mall?
The security guard who was shot while working last night at Lenox Square Mall remains.
Fox 5 has reported on repeated acts of crime, including shootings at Atlanta's Premier Mall. The club owners complained city officials nor the courts would make such a move on the mall.
The base of the
Now, did you hear that?
The club owners complained city officials nor the courts would make such a move on the mall. Fox 5 has reported on repeated acts of crime, including shootings at Atlanta's Premier Mall. The club owners complained city officials nor the courts would make such a move on the mall.
The base of the confusion really lies within what this ordinance does.
Sponsor Councilman Dustin Hillis said the legislation doesn't strictly prohibit two infractions over a 2-year period. For action, there would have to be filings and convictions first. But he can explain. The entertainment folk, they are skeptical and they issue.
Now, he said there would have to be filings and convictions. Well, we all know how that would go. We all know how that would go now, don't we? See, if something happens where black folk are, you'll be convicted before you're even put on trial. You'll be convicted before you're even put on trial. But if it's something that threatens what white folks got, that's going to get tossed out. That's going to get plea bargained away. Don't worry about that. That's going to get plea bargained away. Don't worry about it. By the way, if you like what you're hearing on tonight's program here, we're here on my backup channel. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the chat room and hit my likes button for me. Otherwise, I think you hate what we're talking about, and I'll go ahead and wrap it up here in a few minutes. But if you like what you're hearing tonight from the New Black Media, go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. Now, listen to the next part here, because this is where they go back to the city council to hear what Killer Mike's got to say.
Issued a warning.
This is what
he can explain. The entertainment folk, they are skeptical and they issued a warning.
This is one of the only cities where entertainers and athletes have gone on to form a business class. I'm saying to Atlanta right now, I'm saying to every city council person, when you come around and you need donations, when you come around and you need votes, you come to us singers and dancers and club owners and we oblige you. And for those that don't, the people you ally with are us.
So next week, the entire matter may be discussed all.
like you saying that, Mike. They didn't like that at all now, did they? That didn't go over very well. That didn't go over very well. Just gotta say that didn't go over very well there now. It's hard to play the game when these folks are waiting. It's hard to play the game when these folks are waiting for you like that. Hard to play the game now.
This is one of the only cities where entertainers and athletes have gone on to form a business class. I'm saying to Atlanta right now, I'm saying to every city council person, when you come around and you need donations, when you come around and you need votes.
So next.
Now, let me explain to you what this is really about here. What this is really about. Let's be very, very clear to understand what you're dealing with here. Yeah, y'all are out here and everything, but let's just keep it real. They can get rid of Magic City tomorrow and Larry Flint and the Hustler Club can be sitting on that spot. By the way, Magic City is what, right across the street from the Greyhound bus station? Right across the street. Them hoes can get off the Greyhound bus and go straight across the street and get to work. But in any case, yeah, I mean, you doing too much. You've been doing too much for too long. And what we do, see, here's what we do as black people. We are the pioneers of the industries in these cities. We are the ones who put in all the sweat equity. We do all the heavy lifting to prove that these businesses can be viable. That's what we do. We do all the heavy lifting to prove that this business venture can be viable in this area. So whether it's t-shirts, whether it's music, whether it's a strip club, whether it's a bar, whether it's a nightclub, we're the ones who do it at the small roots, grassroots level. We prove that these entrepreneurial ventures have legs in that area. The dope game, the only reason that they're talking about legalizing marijuana today is because black men proved that there was a market for it nationwide. Freeway Rick proved that the market wasn't just a bunch of hippies in California. Remember, that's what they said. It was just hippies in California who liked it. When you go into cocaine and stuff, well, it's just affluent people in California, New York. And these brothers got together and proved, oh, no. It'll be everywhere. No, it'll be everywhere. It'll be everywhere. That's what it'll be. See, that's what we do. That's what we do. We're the ones who prove that it's got viability. And then after we've done that, after we've served the jail sentences, because it's usually going to be something that was illegal, after we do that, then they come back later and like, okay, well, we gonna step in and take over. We'll step in and take over. That's what they do after we sat up here and did all the work. So you go off and prove that the strip club has viability. You go off and prove the dance club has viability. You go off and prove that the nightclub or the hotel inn or the dance park has viability. And then they come in with millions or billions of dollars and then build this huge complex now that you have proven it has viability. That's what they do. And so just like the turkey leg hut, once you show that it's got viability in that way, then next thing you know, they sit up here and then say, okay, let's go ahead and get rid of you. Let's be very, very clear. If they do get rid of the turkey leg hut, all they're going to do is let some white folk build a restaurant where it is. If they do get rid of the turkey leg hut, they're going to bring in some white folk to build a restaurant where that is. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. So just understand how they do with us. If they do get rid of Magic City, it's not going to be that there won't be another strip club. It's just, okay, the previous owners of the previous strip club, they were not able to keep the community safe. Here comes Larry Flinton Hustler. Oh, well, you know, now that we have new own, I mean, yes, it's a strip club. It's been zoned as a strip club. It's got the zoning for a strip club here, so we're going to bring in some white people to come run this now, and it'll be their club. That's the way that turns out. That's the way that turns out. As far as Killer Mike and them are concerned, just understand you've done all the heavy lifting, you've done all the hard work of showing them it's viable. Now they're like, hey, we want our corners back. We want our corners back. Everywhere you go, it's the same damn thing. We want our corners back. We trying to do that now. We want our corners back. Since the city is not going to go slipping and falling into nothing, we want our corners back now. We trying to get those. That's what we trying to do. We're trying to get those. Bring our corners back. We're going to go get them. We're going to go get our corners. So just recognize what's going on here. They're not playing about that. They're not playing about that. A lot of these folks out here, when you talk about building a business class, when you talk about doing things like that, that's the kind of thing I want you to keep track of. They got a long plan in place. Atlanta did not sink off into the sea and fail. It's become a thriving metropolis, and now they're like, okay, we're going to have to start moving back in now. We got to start getting y'all up off the block. And they're starting by targeting your business interests. They're starting by targeting you got a little old piece of an economic base. And now you're sitting up here and these folks are like, okay, we're going to go after your economic base. We're going to go after your money. We're going to go after, you guys a little piece of an economic base. And they're saying we're going to target that. Remember what I've always taught you all. White supremacy believes in targeting your babies in the crib. They believe in targeting your babies in the crib. They're going after you before you even have a chance to firmly establish nothing. No, they'll never have to worry about a black-owned Westin hotel because we're going to stamp you out before you can make the first one. We're going to knock you down before you can get the first one. And by the way, you're noticing more of this in more places. In Florida now. They're trying to do that. They're trying to do that in Florida. So as black people are getting more sophisticated and are getting more prepared and in more position to be able to do more, all of a sudden now it's like, okay, let's go after the economy of it. See, black folks are doing the turkey leg hut. You got a problem with that in Houston. No, Houston is a major industrial hub. We can't let y'all are supposed to be there to work. You're not supposed to be there to own. Y'all are supposed to be there to work. You're not supposed to be there to own anything. See, what you're supposed to be worrying about is how you can be dancers at Magic City is what you're supposed to be trying to figure out. How can you go hit the pole? See, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Because you see, let me be very, very clear about this right now. All they got to do is get rid of Barney is all they got to do. They'll walk back up in that damn place. They'll just take the sign down. It'll go from Magic City to Snow City. It'll go from Magic City to Snow City. Vanilla City. Hell, they might call it Chocolate City. I'm serious. It'll be some white club owners and they'll call it Chocolate City. It'll be some white club owners and they'll call it Chocolate City. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it happen in my hometown of Shreveport, Louisiana. Somebody in the chat said Mayo City. It might work, but the point is it'll be some white men who own the club, but they'll be catering to a quote unquote black audience. That's what you got all over damn me New York City. New York City is full of a bunch of clubs owned by white folks. You're correct. Arabs, Latinos, a bunch of non-black people who got a bunch of black girls swinging on the damn pole in them places. Now in Atlanta, at least, the most well-known strip club is owned by a black person. At least that is the case. But it's like, we looking towards the future. And looking towards the future, if we go ahead and knock you off now, and in 20 years, they'll never even know you were there. They'll never even know you were there. They'll never even know. That's the whole point of it. Your kids will grow up there and next thing you know, didn't have anything. In the chat room, you're correct. Just like Nipsey Hussle. When they get, in a very short amount of time, they've done erased you. And your children will be just sitting there assuming, well, we wasn't trying to do nothing. We wasn't doing anything. No, they sat up here and were singling you out. They sit up here and undermine us. We're the ones who do these things. And once we start building something, they start undermining it. And they might ignore it for a little while, but now that it's very, very clear, now into the future, Atlanta's going to be popping. Now it's like, okay, we got to get y'all up out of here. We got to get you up out of here. We don't even want to talk about it. You got to go. I've been down there through that area where Magic City is, and Magic City is a little ways away from the downtown area. You can see downtown from there. You can see the Westin Hotel. You can see the Westin Hotel, and that's one of those things where, it's not right next to downtown. It's near downtown, but it's not right in downtown. That's not where it is. But the Greyhound bus station, bus complex is right across the street. That's right across the street. That's the thing I want you all to remember here. It's right across the street, and they're not playing about that. They're like, okay, we've been waiting for a while to see what's going on. Now that they can see we're not going anywhere, okay, let's go ahead and see if we can get them out of here now. Let's go ahead and see if we can get them out of here now. So when your kids grow up, you won't even know what's going on. No, they're not going to get rid of the strip club. It's just going to be, hey, we need to come get that now. We here to take over these corners. We're here to take these corners back. We're here to take these corners back. See, understand something. I want to deal with this right quick. Now, some of y'all might feel some kind of way because we're talking about strip clubs and dance clubs. Okay, some of y'all might feel some kind of way about that. Let me be very, very clear with y'all here. Other folks know the power of those things. I'm going to say something that might be a little bit controversial to some of y'all, but let me just go ahead and keep it all the way real with you right quick here. When you talk about these kind of things here, business get done at these places. Business gets done at these places. Business gets done at places like that. In case y'all didn't know, all up there in New York City and whatnot, White men have always had clubs. See, these are private places, private land. In some ways, it's much more secure than the black church has ever been. I'm saying something right now. Y'all got to understand, these places are more secure than the black church has been. You know why? Because churches, by their very nature, let in anybody who wants to come in. A private club, however, can discriminate against who they allow in and whom they don't. They can discriminate on where you go in the place and where you don't. And if you don't believe me that business is getting done up in there, explain to me how the hell you got Mike and 2 Chainz and T.I. all in the same place like that. Yes, I've had my issues with them, but I'll acknowledge when something is going in the right direction there. So just understand, and that's far from the only place. I'm just holding them up because they're the most visible objects here. But business gets done in these places, and it's not being lorded over by white people. There is no white referee in the middle saying, okay, well, like Jay-Z with Leor Cohen. It's not some white dude sitting in the middle deciding which way things are gonna go. That's not what you have. You don't have a situation where there's white men deciding how these things work out. You got black folk demonstrating, black folk becoming power brokers at the street level. These are establishments and things that you actually own. To my cats who live up there in New York City, this is exactly what the mafia, what the Italian mafia had going in the 60s. And at the height of the mafia's power was really in that era of Carlo Gambino, and right towards the end, when you get to John Gotti, it all starts going downward from there. But the height of their power was between 1960 and 1982. Go and watch videos from Sammy the Bull Gravano, Michael Francis. We're talking about the biggest money makers in the Italian mafia. And what did they tell you? They all owned nightclubs. They all owned restaurants. They all owned a bar or 2 or 3. I'm not making any of this up. The Ravenite nightclub. Don't deceive yourself into thinking that these are minor things. Cotton Club and others. There's a reason that they target this. You know why? Because this is a place where y'all aggregate, where you congregate. And unlike the black church, there's actually a social filter. There is actually a social filter at a club or an establishment like that. You don't have that at the church. They let Dylan Roof walk in through the back door, for goodness sake. They let him come waltzing in the back door from day one. He didn't have to validate himself or nothing. He was just allowed to mosey right on in. That don't happen at a place where you own it and y'all got a code. That doesn't happen at a place that's been established and it's on code. That doesn't happen there. So just understand, if you want to know why it is that they are so interested in targeting these things, you all don't see where this can go. Let me give you an example right now. If Barney actually did want to sell the Magic City, if he actually did want to sell it, do y'all understand how much Michael Barney could get from Magic City just from its name and everything alone? Can you imagine how much he'd be able to sell that for? It is the most well-known strip club name in the world, really, to be totally honest. Larry Flint's Hustler Club, that's kind of a ubiquitous name, but everybody knows when you say Magic City, everybody knows that. Imagine how much he could sell that thing for if he actually wanted to sell it. And let's be very, very clear. If he did want to sell it, he'd have white men and investment corporations from around the world trying to get that damn thing up off of him. Trying to get it up off of him. Y'all need to think about it in those terms, because I've been among white folk and these are the terms upon which they think of these things. If we can get him out from up under it, if Michael Barney were willing to sell Magic City, they would buy it from him, and all of a sudden, these white men on the city council, their attitude toward all that would flip overnight. Next thing they would know, they love Magic City. They would take that damn thing. They wouldn't even change the name of it. They wouldn't even change the name. Understand what I'm saying? If they bought it, they wouldn't even change the name. Yes, I know I'm trending on Twitter. It's just another day in the life. Don't get distracted. Just another day in the life. I'm right here with y'all. I'm not under arrest or anything, so yeah. In any case, it happens. But I'm just letting y'all know here, if you discount the value of clubs and venues that you own, if you discount the value of these things that you own, if you sit up here and say, well, you know, it's just a club. No, it's not. Well, it's just a bar. No, it's not. It's just a restaurant. No, it's not. This is you owning your piece of the world, of the economy, and proving that it's viable. This is your way of proving that it is viable. So don't sit up here and discount that. This is a place where young people in the community, think about that there. And let me go ahead and deal with the other part of folks who want to talk about. Oh, it's seedy and seemly. Y'all better get the hell out of here with that. Y'all better get the hell out of here with that. You can't name a single damn industry in America that wasn't started on something grimy. You can't name a single damn one. You can't name a single damn one. Everybody else out here get it how they live. Everybody else out here get it how they live. They bootlegging, they drug running. It's only when black folk pull up to the curb and say, okay, it's time for us to get ours, all of a sudden the damn rules change and everybody has to be some Franciscan monk. All of a sudden everybody has to take a vow of chastity. All of a sudden everybody's got to be a teetotaler. All of a sudden, everybody's got to swear off of drugs and everybody got to swear off of drink. All of a sudden, everybody's got to sit up here and it's got to become Mayberry. All of a sudden. It's only when we show up that all of a sudden it's got to be Mayberry. It's got to become Mr. Rogers' neighborhood when we have a chance to own some of the vices. Yeah, nobody has a problem with the vices. That's called freedom. Right up until black folks start owning the vices, then all of a sudden, okay, we gotta lock them vices down. It's too much. Y'all doing too much. It's ruining the image of the city. The image of the damn city was fine when the white folks owned the vices, but when the black folk own the vices, nah, this ain't no good. No, you're running down property values. This is no good. Let me explain something to y'all, damn it. Let me explain something to y'all, damn it. When you go check out the history of the Italian mafia in America, understand something. All them cats had houses in the most expensive neighborhoods in New York and New Jersey. They had houses in some of the most expensive neighborhoods up there. Carlo Gambino, his cousin who took over after him, Paul Castellano. John Gotti, who took over after he whacked Castellano, his underboss, Sammy the Bull, Michael Francis. We can go down the damn list. They all had, was that Castellano's place? They called it what, the White House? It was so damn big. And everybody in that neighborhood knew, oh, that's the Don. That's the Don. That's the damn boss of bosses. What the hell you talking about? That's the boss of bosses. He could kill the whole damn neighborhood if he wanted to. He could kill everybody here if he wanted to. No, understand, they never came into the neighborhood association never got together and said, yes, sir, you contribute to moral turpitude, and we're afraid you need to leave the neighborhood. You're running down property values. Nobody ever said that to them. Nobody ever said that to them. Meyer Lansky lived wherever the hell he wanted to. Nobody was trying to run him out the neighborhood. Nobody was trying to run them off. You want to talk about a nuisance? Is there anything that's more of a nuisance than folks getting shot outside the damn building there? These guys kept things popping. Remember down in Philadelphia, the Celtic warrior, Danny, I forget his last name, but Danny, they made a movie about him and every damn thing. They were blowing up whole damn bombs outside of dentist offices. Dentist offices, doctors' offices. They called it the year of the boom. Nobody called that a nuisance. Danny Green, thank you very much, Rolando. Danny Green. Nobody called that a nuisance. So let me get this straight. Y'all are setting off damn me car bombs. Whitey Bulger, correct? We can keep going here all damn year. Wait a minute now. Whitey Bulger is killing everything that's moving. Danny Green and the folks he's beefing with are blowing up everything that dares to venture outside. And I'll be damned. In the chat room, you're right. Danny Green was in Cleveland, not Philadelphia. I think he might have been beefing with some folk from there, but he was in Cleveland, correct. And that wasn't a nuisance even in Cleveland. Even in Cleveland, oh well. Kaboom! All right, they'll blow up half the damn block. All right, we good. It's okay. Pick that fella's ass up over there and let's go. I'm sitting here. You all know I read his biography decades ago, Underboss by Peter Moss. Talking about Sammy the Bull. Man, look here. They were shooting somebody every damn week. Sammy sat up here and the Russian dude that he was doing business with, got up in the damn club, flipping off at the lip too much. Hell, Sammy said, we gonna kill him tonight. We're going to kill him tonight. He's not living till tomorrow. He's getting gunned down tonight. Call my whole crew together. He ain't getting out of this parking lot tonight. He ain't getting out of here. Pop, 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 dead as he could be. Right there in front of the club. Nobody said you got to come shut this down. That wasn't a nuisance. That wasn't a nuisance. So they can shoot them up, gas them up, blow them up, chop them up. Whatever they do. Oh, well, we don't know nothing. You sure? We show up and all of a sudden, okay, babe, keep your nose clean, nigga. Really? And here's another thing. Here's the killing part about this. Where y'all think these cats get these guns from? Now, here's the killing part about it. This nigga ain't got a job. He doesn't have a job. He's got exactly $6 in his pocket. He doesn't even own the car that he drove to this place in. It's just like over there in Africa, how in the hell they getting their hands on this kind of armament? So what they do is they'll bring the guns over here, give them to folks in your neighborhood, in my neighborhood, in our neighborhood, give it to the most unstable folk they can, folks they know gonna get in a whole bunch of trouble with it. They go off, go shoot something up. Oh, well, you just can't control this right there. Well, we gotta shut everything down here. Well, there was another shooting. Yet another one. How the hell did he get his hands on a gun? The nigga's barely verbal. Don't worry about that right there. We'll investigate that later, but for now, we have to go ahead and shut this down now. So they go ahead, they bring in the guns, or they make them. And then you have these arms dealers distribute the guns, or the police. And then the operatives go off and go shoot some things up. Or maybe there are some operatives from law enforcement who could be doing it. I don't know. Could be some operatives in law enforcement doing it. That's possible too. Have we investigated to make sure? And then next thing you know, after the operatives have done the deed, then next thing you know, here come the police, who may or may not have given out the weapons in the first place, to come and do the investigation. Well, I'll be damned. Now, you know, there are some folks, and there's a history of that in New York, in Detroit, in Los Angeles. The police have long been giving out guns. The Rampart scandal. 75th precinct in New York. Hell, to be totally honest, you can name all the precincts in New York, by the way. To be totally honest. Matter of fact, just go ahead and name City Hall. Let's just go ahead and stop bull-jiving. Let's just go to City Hall and just make our lives easier. So the police in America have long had histories of distributing firearms for the purposes of general mayhem. For the purposes of general mayhem. And then as soon as they sat up here and set off all of this catastrophe, here they come. Well, we have decided to come and investigate. Well, hey, you know, we got source. I've heard some folks say some of your cops was giving out the guns. Well, we've investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing. We investigated ourselves, but we found no wrongdoing. So, yeah, we've investigated ourselves. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Nothing wrong here. We're good. We're good. No, trust us, it was a lone wolf. We've investigated it. It was a lone wolf. That was all. Where'd you get the gun from? We can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. I'm saying this because I want you all to understand and be able to connect the dots on your own. Going forward in the future, do not tell yourselves that this is a little thing. This is not a little thing. Being able to stamp out any measure. Let's be very, very clear. Here's the real damn threat. Do y'all realize that's millions of dollars standing on that screen right there in front of you right there? That's millions of dollars. Not thousands. Millions. Millions. Remember when 2 Chainz made those, the dab, Santa dabbing? The dabbing Santa sweaters. I talked about that years ago. Oh, y'all thought I forgot. I ain't forgot. I ain't no big rap. I'm not a big fan of his music like that. But I remember. I got a bit of a memory. I talked about dabbing Santa. How many of y'all remember dabbing Santa? If you remember dabbing Santa, give me a hands up emoji in the chat room. Not a thumbs up, but a hands up emoji. If y'all remember the dabbing Santa sweaters. If y'all remember that, give me a hands up emoji in the chat room if you remember the dabbing Santa. Remember, he sold millions of those, millions of dollars worth. Millions of dollars worth. Who was it? I forget. It was a white football player. I want to say it was Tom Brady. Was it Tom Brady or Peyton Manning? Was it Peyton? I'm trying to remember because I'm starting to think it was Peyton Manning who did it, but it was Was it Peyton Manning who did it too after they asked him about the dab in Santa? Yeah, y'all remember that. Y'all remember that. Y'all had to go all the way back on you. Y'all remember that. Hey, nigga, I don't do Christmas sweaters either, but I do money. I do money. And if I could have gotten to the idea before 2 Chainz did, don't you know I'd be right there doing it? Don't you know I'd be right there doing it? Them Asians don't believe in Juneteenth. They got the damn t-shirts. Some of y'all need to think before you talk. New life skill, might want to try it out. Yeah, I want to say it was Peyton Manning who did that. He did it real quick, it was real awkward. I'm like, all right. But they were talking about the dab in Santa, and he was like, oh yeah. And then he did the thing like this. Like I said, I knew it was one of them white quarterbacks. That's what I was saying. I think it might have been Peyton Manning because it was real awkward. But my point is, you're seeing millions of dollars on your screen right now that didn't come from rap music. 2 Chainz made millions of dollars outside of rap music. Outside of it. Yeah, it might give you the seed capital for it, but he made millions outside of that. And he hasn't stopped yet. That's millions of dollars that you see on your screen right now. Between 2 Chainz and Killer Mike, that's millions. Tens of millions of dollars. Tens of millions. Now, let me go ahead and explain something to you right there. For those of you who don't know, it costs about $7 million to build essentially a budget hotel. So if you got like a Choice Hotels or a Holiday Inn or Wyndham Hotels, who does Hawthorne Suites, Daisy and stuff like that, it's going to cost you about $7 million to build one of those. Make it 2 or 3 stories tall. It's going to cost you about $7 million to build one. Now, if you want to build something a little more extravagant, that's going to run you anywhere from $10 to $20 million to build one. Them cats on that screen, you see on your screen right now, they got the money to do that. They at least have the money to put their name on it. Now, I'm not here to tell them what they should or even shouldn't do. I'm not here to say what they should or should not do. I'm saying good for them. It's all good. I got no problem with that. I'm just putting it in context. Not even to build nothing like the Four Seasons. No. Not some 5-star hotel. I'm just talking about, the budget thing that folks stay at when they're visiting town for a couple of days. When it's the summertime and they're looking, they need a spot and they can't really afford to go to, the Mandarin Oriental or something like the Four Seasons or something like that. So, they'll go to a budget hotel. That's perfectly fine. There's a place in this world for that. No issue there. No issue there. But my point is, when you start getting your chips together and then you have the ability to get together with other black people, because the white folk ain't gonna do nothing with you. The white folks aren't looking to start politicking with you and start building with you. They're putting up walls in front of you to keep you out. These white men are putting up walls and saying, hey, let's go ahead and keep them the hell up out of here. They're not trying to sit up here and bring you into nothing. They're trying to keep you out. So if you do start making any major moves, no matter what you think, it's going to be some, not even Super 8 or Econo Suites. Oh my God, no. I'm talking about something a little bit better than that. But you get the idea. No, not Econo Lodge and all that mess, no. But the bottom line is, if you have the ability to get that to work with other black folk who got their weight up. Think about that for a few moments, who got their weight up. Just enough so y'all can put y'all little chips together, and next thing you know, you got something going. Get the right piece of land in the right city under the right circumstances, and then you going, and you didn't have to go to no white folk to get it. See, that's the damn problem here. You got too much money sitting on this screen that didn't go through white folk to get it. Or at least are not beholden enough to white folk to get it. That's why they're trying to step in now. Well, you're not beholden to us. We don't have the ability. See, this is what happens when you fail to outcompete black people. When you can't beat us competitively, then you say, all right, damn that, just pass some legislation. Let's go ahead and slip in the trick bag, pass some legislation. Let's see if we can knock them off with that. Let's go ahead and pass some legislation because we've failed to do that. See, they try to tell folk, oh, black folks aren't intellectual enough. They're not smart enough. They're not quick enough. They can't do that. Okay, next thing you know, you show them you can. Oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and new law. We got a new law we need to drop now. There's a new law. Just like in professional sports, in the NBA, in the NFL, every time black athletes start taking more positions, they start implementing more rules. To protect the white athletes, every time the black athletes start doing too much, new rule. Oh, you can't hit the quarterback like that anymore, new rule. Oh, you can't make that gesture anymore, new rule. Let's come up with a new way to penalize them, new rule. Well, we've been playing all these decades without that rule. Yeah, new change. Really? All my basketball heads and my football heads, y'all see them do that. Y'all see them do that all the time. Every time you turn around, new rule. The referees start calling the damn games differently. What the hell? We've been doing it. It was perfectly fine in the 70s and the 80s. As soon as we get to them 90s, we start Xing them out. Oh, new rule. Oh, you can't touch the centers like that. New rule. What they call it back in the day, the Stockton rule. Yeah, we got to preserve the white athletes. This is the white athlete preservation rule. The black athletes, we playing just fine without it. Yeah. Enough of that. So y'all know what the hell's going on. So recognize you see millions of dollars on that screen right there. And that's how you start generational wealth. That's how you start generational wealth when you've got a steady stream of disposable income and you can start stockpiling it because the banks ain't going to give you. Look, let me tell y'all something. I've been to Atlanta many a time. As you all know, I was in Atlanta New Year's night 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. I was at the Westin Hotel in downtown Atlanta. I was there New Year's night. 90% of the folk there were black people. I was there. I got the video to prove it. 9 out of 10 people at that hotel, the Westin Hotel, New Year's night, 2020, middle of the pandemic. Actually, it's 2021. But New Year's night, 2021, changing over from 2020 to 2021, I was there. They had the sign down there at the bottom of the elevator, the bottom of the escalator. When you leave the valet, they have the sign down there at the bottom of the escalator that said it's the state law that the Westin Hotel was exempt. You could not sue them. I got pictures. I have pictures from the lot, from that area down there where you get out of the valet, where they had a sign on a pedestal there that said that. There was a sign on a pedestal. And it said that this place, that if by entering this place, you are accepting the risks of coming there and that you cannot sue them. I've got the pictures. If any of you were there on New Year's night 2021, you saw it too. When you came out of the valet to the escalator there at the bottom of the well, it's not stairs, but it's the escalator that takes you up to the lobby. Right there, it said if you enter this premises, you are accepting the risk of doing so, and you cannot sue. You will not be able to sue them. That you are accepting the risk of entering that establishment. I'm not telling you what somebody else told me. I'm telling you what I witnessed and read and took a picture of with my own damn eyes. So the Westin Hotel was open for business and had the specific backing and protection of the government of the state of Georgia. They were open for business, not Florida, not Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. And it wasn't, to be totally honest, it wasn't, I mean, there were people there. It certainly wasn't, just bursting at the gills, but it was plenty of folk there. It was plenty of people there. Yeah, down the street, down the hill where the Waffle House is, I went there. Olympic Park, they had that closed off though. Round the corner where the Ferris wheel is, there were people all out there where the train comes by and stuff. So I was there. I was in the joint. I made the rounds. So I'm telling you, they had protections for that. They want to make sure black folk don't get in any position where, by the way, you need to drop one of them signs for us. Heard that monkeypox thing is coming through. And by the way, got a couple of things I want to say about that tonight. But before I do, we're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Got a couple things I want to say about that. I want to bring that home for y'all. I want to bring it home for you. But we're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Before we do, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program here by PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. So thank you very much here to Andrew L. Chadwick, Black Voltron, B1 Media is a lifesaver. Thank you very much for your support. Mr. Darwulo and everybody else here who's contributed to support tonight's program. We're going to talk about this monkeypox thing here in just a few moments, particularly how it dovetails off of what I just mentioned about black business, Atlanta. Oh no, there actually is a connection here. There actually is one. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break, and then we're going to come back and talk about that. This is The Black Channel.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us NEED SOFTWARE to 323-407-8214. That's 323-407-8214. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal's buyer's protection guarantee.
When you need a reliable influx of capital to grow your business, Spectre Capital Finance provides fast, individualized working capital loans with lines of credit to take your business to the next level. SpectreCapitalFinance.com.
Hey, I'm Marcus. For a while, I walked around with this empty feeling inside. I had a full-time job, but not in the field I wanted to be in. But then I came across this book where it was like, the title was just for me. Guide to Being Black in IT. I read the book and the author took me through scenarios and gave me tips. I sat down and read it and it only took an hour. After I got done, I took advice in the book, practiced in the labs, and got certified. Then I literally got up and applied for a position with the company I've been looking at for a while and got the job. Thanks to that book, I worked my job with confidence. If you're looking to get into IT or even in the field, now this is a must-read book. Go to www.beingblackinit.com.
am black first. I am empowered. I am on code. I am motivated. I am a proud foundational. My name is Noria Sellers, and nothing will come between us. Buy the sci-fi novel, Nothing Will Come Between Us. Order today at Amazon and Google Play. Visit spiritofo1811publishing.com. Our story, our family.
Join 6zeros.net, a forum built to discuss all things relevant to black people. On our forum, a check doesn't mean you're famous. It means your blackness has been verified by our staff.
Sorry, Chad.
We also have premium merchandise with same-day shipping on most orders. And when you're ready for some dope content, check out the 0 Hour blog.
Don't just sign up, post.
I'm having a really good time with you tonight.
I'm having a good time with you too.
Want to go somewhere private? Just for us?
I like that.
Great. Meet me at 6zeros.net. Black owned, black operated.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is The Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening as we are discussing a number of different things here now. And the next thing I want to talk about here actually dovetails here very nicely off of what we've been talking about tonight as well here, because we're asking a few questions. We're asking a few questions here, and I was saying about, by the way, you know, when they had a pandemic going on, they had no problem keeping white businesses in Atlanta open here. And lo and behold, don't worry, that's going to keep going, because what do you see I'm talking about here now? Well, I'll be damned. Doesn't this sound familiar? Well, I've seen this before. I think we've all seen this before. They're already talking about supposedly, oh, this could be the next pandemic. Well, they're getting ready. They're already loading this one up. They're not even going to wait till this one gets out the gate good now, are they? They're already loading this one up. Yeah, straight from CNN. I mean, it ain't been out long enough for you to sit up here and even be able to measure anything, but I'll be damned. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, what they say, you don't even know who got it yet. You don't even know who got it. And, oh, don't worry. You know, black folks here, we now look here now. Y'all don't want to get the monkey. Y'all don't want to get that monkey, do you? Look now, if you don't listen to us, you can end up with that monkey. Yeah, you don't want the monkey to get you. Last time it was the cove, this time it's the monkey. Boy, I'm telling you, if y'all don't stop that, they ain't playing about it. Now listen to what they have to say here. A detailed analysis of monkeypox case records published by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Oh, hell, sounds like Anthony Fauci got his hands all over this. On Friday, offers new insight into the outbreak, which is disproportionately affecting men who have sex with men, especially those who are black and Hispanic. What? So it affects men who have sex with men, but especially the men who have sex with black men, especially the black and Hispanic men who have sex with other men. Really? Well, what makes theirs so special and different? It says there were 2,891 cases of monkeypox reported in the United States by July 22nd, about 2 months after the country's first case was reported. Case report forms with additional epidemiological and clinical information were submitted to the CDC for 41% of those cases, though not all details were complete in all of those forms. Among the cases with available data, 94% were in men who reported recent sexual or close intimate contact with another man. More than half, 54% of cases were among Black and Hispanic people, a group that represents about a third, 34% of the general U.S. population. Now think about this here for a few moments, because how many of these Hispanic people actually identify as white? How many of these so-called Hispanic people identify as white? While you're trying to lump them in with us, how many of them identify as white? And the share of cases among Black people has grown in recent weeks, according to CDC analysis. How many of y'all been out here chasing Zaddy? How many of y'all been out here chasing Zaddy? There's a number of folks been out here chasing Zaddy. You all on Twitter and everything. You're posted up and booed up. Next thing you know, you got the monkey. Messed around and got that damn monkey paw. Public health efforts to prioritize gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men who are currently disproportionately affected for prevention and testing while addressing equity, minimizing stigma, and maintaining vigilance for transmission to other populations, the authors of the report say. All right, y'all, now here's the thing I'm trying to tell you right now. Okay, well, if you really are that concerned about it, then why don't we go ahead and get that money moving? Now, understand what they're going to tell you in your headlines. Oh, this is affecting Black people. Why, Black people are being affected. Well, it sounds like you need to start moving the money and them resources to Black folks, shouldn't you? Oh, no. What we need to do is give the money to some white people. Some white folk need to get the money. You need to give the money to some white people, and then those white people will take care of everything else. The white folk will take care of everything else. Yeah, if you really want to help Black folks, no. Don't give the resources to the Black people. Don't do that. Hand it over here to us white folk. We'll take care of the rest. You let us do that. Now, I went on here to say additional analysis shows that all of the patients had a rash. However, a genital rash was more commonly reported in the current outbreak than in, quote, typical monkeypox. It was the most common location for rash, 46%, followed by arms, 40%, face, 38%, and legs, 37%. More than a third of cases with available data reported rash in 4 or more regions. All right, y'all, you better be looking out for folks. If they got them monkey bumps, y'all better start looking out for some people with them monkey bumps. And a lot of you females, oh, I'm going to say it, ladies, there's a lot of you females, y'all like to laugh and joke about the quality of males that you hang around with. You know you hang around with dudes who got sketchy histories, and y'all sit up here and think that mess is cute. And then one evening, because of your daddy issues, you let Mr. Sketchy do his thing. I'm going to say something else right now. Or y'all, you chicks who like to fool with these fellas who be in and out of jail. Some of you little hoes who deal with dudes who are in and out of jail. Oh, I got to call it what it is. Y'all like to fool with dudes who are in and out of jail. This nigga stay on that in that conveyor belt. He stays in that revolving door, in and out of jail. He go to jail for 6 months, a year, 2 years. Come back to you. Okay. Here, hold this HIV. Hold these monkey bumps. Yeah, we gonna give you the monkey paw. Okay. All right. That's right, especially in Atlanta. Oh, Keisha Bottom B, she ain't got to worry about it, but the rest of y'all, okay, you sitting out there dancing and playing and acting like that mess is cute. That Negro done gave you the damn monkey bumps. Because you didn't have enough to deal with already. Herpes, AIDS, here come the monkey bumps. Here it comes. All right. Early warning signs of illness, however, are less common in the current outbreak compared with typical monkeypox. In about 2 in 5 cases, the illness started with a rash, but no reported prodromal symptoms such as chills, headache, or malaise. About 2 in 5 cases also did not report fever. The authors of the report emphasized that anyone with a rash consistent with monkeypox should be tested for the virus, regardless of their sexual or gender identity or the presence of other symptoms. So some of you chicks out here carrying herpes, next time you have your next outbreak, you might want to go get checked. That might not be it. You might have picked up something else to go along. Your herpes might have a rider now. Just saying, trying to help. Among those cases for which data was available, fewer than 1 in 10, 8%, needed hospitalization due to monkeypox. No deaths were reported. Let me say that again. No deaths have been reported. Of those for whom vaccination status was available, 14% had gotten a vaccine for smallpox, including 3% who had gotten 1 dose of Jynneos during the outbreak. At least 1 person with monkeypox had symptoms more than 3 weeks after their first dose of Jynneos vaccine. A substantial proportion of monkeypox cases have been reported among people with HIV who may be at higher risk of severe illness. More analysis of this group is underway according to the CDC. The agency says it's continually evaluating new evidence and tailoring response strategies as information on changing case demographics, clinical characteristics, transmission, and vaccine effectiveness become available. So guess what? New vaccine. Yes, sir. Monkeypox is disproportionately affecting Black, Hispanic people. Sounds like y'all need to cut the check. Sounds like y'all need to cut the check. Hey, I ain't trying to get them monkey bumps. So, hey, I ain't trying to get the monkey paw. I'm not trying to catch that monkey. So, y'all need to cut the check. Yeah, I'm worried about that monkey now. Y'all got me real worried. Y'all got me real worried. Hey, you need to hurry up and cut that check for reparations. Yeah, that way I ain't got to go outside like that. I can start making some moves and start protecting myself. I need y'all to cut that check. I don't want to get cut with that monkey paw. Oh, no. I'm trying to stay away from the monkey too. So if you cut the check, I could probably keep away from that monkey. I'm pretty sure I could. Pretty sure I could make it. So go ahead. I don't want to catch them monkey bumps. But you see, there's a reason why you have to have the black media. There's a reason why you have to have us, because we're going to give you insight and analysis you would have nowhere else. So whereas anybody else is going to tell you, oh, well, we're not so sure. We might have your best interest here. Then again, we may not. Can't really tell what's going on. But these other folks here are not going to be able to tell you what's happening. We'll be able to tell you that. But you know who's not going to be able to tell you about this? The griot. They're not going to be able to tell you about that. Now, last night we had a caller who called in and he was telling us about that he had called in the C-SPAN. And when he called in the C-SPAN, he was telling us about how he had asked him about that. So I went ahead and told him, go ahead and send me a link to the thing in question here, go ahead and send me a link to that. I asked him for a link to it. Boy, I had about a dozen people sending me links. So I was like, oh boy, I got about a dozen people that sent me links here now. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and see if we can do that. So I went ahead and checked it out, hear what they had to say. And so he opened up the telephone lines, I think, and called in. So we went ahead and heard what they had to say. So this is Michael Harriot and Christina Greer. And they are two writers here for the Griot's podcast. Two writers for the Griot podcast. Now, you all know this Michael Harriot dude. Y'all already know Michael Harriot. You already know he's bogus. You already know he's flagrant. You don't need me to tell you. He's going to get more attention from me talking during this program. He's going to get more attention for this than for anything else. That's what they're going to get here. I want to play this for you.
Making our country a more perfect union.
Michael Harriot and Christina Greer are our guests. We're talking about public policy issues and politics. And John is our first caller from Temple Hills, Maryland, Independent Line. John, please go ahead.
Yes. I would like to ask your guests, are they familiar with Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, and Tariq Nasheed? And they seem to be far more relevant and influential to the black community than the Griot and other black so-called news networks. Because I heard your guests talk about including everybody. And so they say that, everybody, we shouldn't include everybody. This is about black people. Everybody doesn't fit in. Immigrants from Africa are actually on reparations committees where they don't get anything, and it has nothing to do with them. So do you know Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, and Tariq Nasheed? And what do you think of them? Thank you.
Christina Greer, Professor Greer?
I've definitely heard of both of them, and I think that they serve a particular segment or faction of the black community. But what I think Byron Allen is trying to build in so many of us who work for the Griot and work with the Griot is that, it is important for us to have inclusive conversations. Many of the conversations.
All right. So first of all, she sits up here, and of course she's got to be disrespectful. Of course she got to be that. She's got to sit up here and be like, oh, I've heard of both of them. The fella named three people, Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed, he named three people, and yes, she's going to sit up here talking about both of them. So that's the little game that they play. She knows full damn well that that's not the case. She knows full damn well it's three of us. But like I say, what you're doing is you're exposing you're scared. You're exposing you're afraid. And that's cool. That's cool. Go ahead and expose that. Go ahead and show what you are. So that's the first thing right there. I've heard of both of them. It's not both of them, ma'am. He said three different things. But you know what? It's okay. It's cool. Now, here's the next thing I want to tell you all. Just understand something. They have heard of all of us, okay? They've heard of all of us. Their job is to try to fool people into thinking they haven't, or, oh, if we just don't mention them. People, you don't get on the Amazon bestseller and folk don't know about you there. You don't show up on all the major television stations in New York and LA and they don't know who the hell you are. You don't show up where I have buying ads on the Breakfast Club. Folks, they know who we are. They know who we are. They know who the black media is. But the problem is they got white handlers and white owners, so their job is to try to convince you that they don't. But folks, they know who we are. They know who we are. Now, her statement that she's making here is actually rather damning, but I'm going to go ahead and let them finish this.
And what they serve a particular segment.
And what do you think of them? Thank you.
Christina Greer, Professor Greer?
I've definitely heard of both of them, and I think that they serve a particular segment or faction of the black community. But what I think Byron Allen is trying to build in so many of us who work for the Griot and work with the Griot is that, it is important for us to have inclusive conversations. Many of the conversations we have on the Griot, the way they're written, it's like, if you know, you know. But I do think that just as it's important for black students.
What the hell does that mean? Many of the conversations that we have on the griot, if you know, you know. What the hell does that mean? What good is having a black-owned outlet that's supposed to talk to black people if you refuse to talk directly to black people? So if you know, you know. What does that mean? Does anybody know what the hell that means? Because I don't know what she's talking about. She said, if you know, you know. I don't know, ma'am. What are you saying?
To see me in front of the classroom. I think it's important for white students to see me in front of the classroom. And for my podcast, The Blackest Questions, I don't think it's, valuable if only black people know black history. I think so many non-black people need to understand all the contributions of black people. And that's including a diasporic conversation about the contributions of blacks from not only the United States, but Africa and the Caribbean.
So this is taking black history and making it something for white folk. So we need a white audience for black history? Really? So that was the goal in buying the griot, is to turn black folks' history into entertainment here, or to try to have a white fan base or a white audience base for it? Really?
Wrote a book called Black Ethnics that really talks about the need for us to build coalitions across the diaspora and then...
Oh, there's that word, coalitions. Boy, I told y'all she is going to smash over every single one of the sloppy talking points. There goes she got the coalitions. Only thing she hadn't said yet is black and brown, but she already said we need white folk for it. So here we go.
As The Blackest Questions, I don't think it's valuable if only black people know black history. I think so many non-black people need to understand all the contributions of black people, and that's including a diasporic conversation about the contributions of blacks from not only the United States, but Africa and the Caribbean. I wrote a book called Black Ethnics that really talks about the need for us to build coalitions across the diaspora and then start more substantive conversations. I definitely think that there are some conversations that black people need to have first, but the inclusive element of the griot, if people decide to tune into our various podcasts on the network, it's so that they can learn something and they can reflect on the ways in which black people have been excluded in this country and globally over time. So yes, I've heard of the gentlemen that were mentioned, but I do think that they are they cater to a particular group of black American.
And it's bigger than yours. Yes, we cater to a different audience in black society. Yeah, a bigger one than yours. We cater to the black street. Yes, it is a different audience than yours. It's bigger. You can start there and then ask yourself, how in the world is it so much bigger? Maybe you should have, if you really want to see your numbers go up, maybe you should have us as a guest sometimes. Oh yeah, we didn't have to spend $20 million to get it either.
Not all of black America.
Mr. Harris.
Black people have been excluded in this country and globally over time. So yes, I've heard of the gentlemen that were mentioned, but I do think that they are, they cater to a particular group of black America and not all of black America.
Mr. Harriet, did you want to add something?
No, I'll just echo what Dr. Griot said, and that, there is no specific person who speaks to everyone. You wouldn't say that there was there's a white guy. Do you know this guy?
Do y'all hear this nigga stumbling and bumbling his way through this? What the hell is he hosting other than a special ed classroom? What, do you hear this? Well, I've heard they said, there was a white guy and he was there when sometimes you believe it comes from a, what the hell is he saying? Byron Allen, maybe you can go get your damn money back. I don't know how much you're paying this dude, but if you hurry, maybe you can get your damn money back. Maybe you can get your money back if you hurry. Do y'all hear him? No, y'all, this ain't even splaining. This isn't even splaining, this is straining. Well, because I agree with the professor. It sounds like, like a record skipping, like the needle's just skipping across the whole damn record. I told you, I see that, and now we don't see, but can't call back now. Dude, he's the host. This guy is the host. People, y'all ain't gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you next.
First, but
there is no. I'll just echo what Dr. Greer said, and that there is no specific person who speaks to everyone. You wouldn't say that there was there's a white guy. Do you know this guy? It's a weird question, but I do think that
y'all, I think I have finally found the one guy who is the one person in media in any form who is less articulate than Benjamin Crump and Tone Talks. I think I found the one guy who is less articulate than them. If he's not less articulate, he's equally as bad. Boy, I'm telling you, I think we found the one. We've been waiting for a minute. Did you ever think you would see the day that would happen? Clavon, you always know YouTube is going to mess with us super heavy wherever we are, but thank you very much for joining us, brother. I'm glad to have you here. You got to work to stay with us. We ain't Byron Allen. But in any case, we have found the one Negro who is less articulate than them. Did you ever think that Mushmouth, that he would be more articulate than somebody else? Did you think it was possible? Did you think it was possible? It's like Dumb Donald from, was it Cosby and Friends? Was it Fat Albert? Like Dumb Donald from Fat Albert. What in the hell? I don't know. Why? No, that ain't right what you saying there. Okay, all right. Boy, I'm telling you, this is what you got. I guess this is the real problem that they had with me, is that I guess I'm just too damn well spoken. It's like, no, Jason, we can't hire you. You don't stumble enough. We're afraid that you don't stumble enough. No. You have to do better. This is better.
Mr. Harriet, did you want to add something?
No, I'll just echo what Dr. Greer said, and that there is no specific person who speaks to everyone. You wouldn't say that there was there's a white guy. Do you know this guy? It's a weird question, but
y'all, did he have an epileptic seizure during this interview? I'm just is he having early onset dementia? He sounds like Joe Biden before a debate. Is he having early onset dementia? Yes, I knew him. His name was Charlie, and I met him back in 1970. He used to make tacos down on Melbourne Street, and I told Charlie, catch the number 9 train, Charlie. Don't miss the number 9 train. So that's why we need infrastructure. Y'all. So let me get this straight, Byron Allen. Let me get this straight. You didn't call Tariq. You didn't call Professor Black Truth. You didn't call me. You didn't even call Roland Martin. Y'all, he didn't even call Roland Martin. You sped straight past all of them And this is what you got for your money.
Who speaks?
I can see why you can afford to buy the griot or something like that. Now I see y'all. He saved money. The money he used by the griot, he saved it by hiring these as his hosts.
They cater to a particular group of Black America and not all of Black America.
Mr. Harriet, did you want to add something?
No, I'll just echo what Dr. Greer said, and that, you know, there is no specific person who speaks to everyone. Just, you know, and you wouldn't say that there was like this. There's a white guy. Do you know this guy? It's a weird question, but I do think that as far as inclusion, you know, we look at the world and Black America as a diaspora, right? And I don't think anyone benefits from.
I don't think anyone benefits from hearing your ass stumble. In the chat room, Ray, you right? Did y'all figure? Herschel Walker sounds like a scholar compared to this dude. And was he like a professor or something? I don't know, but he's all on Twitter getting his ass handed to him. No wonder he wants to just stay out of this arena altogether. After this, he still has a job. He still has a job. If they ever do a real life Fat Albert movie, try to do another one, I know if they like do one for the modern day, what happened when Fat Albert's friends grew up, I know who needs to be cast as Dumb Donald. Whatever happened to Dumb Donald when he grew up? Well, he calls himself Michael nowadays. He writes for the griot. I believe, you know, if you don't know, we do over here sometimes. We go home and yesterday I was on the phone talking to my okay. I said I was on YouTube. Tune into my podcast. We're going to be on this Friday. I don't know if your brain cells are going to live long enough to hear this. I don't know if they're going to live long enough to hear this. Now, it sounds like I'm just being mean. Hell no, you all see the damn title at the bottom of the screen. He's hosting. Oh, Professor Greer, baby, I hope you got the intellectual chops because you gonna be carrying the podcast wing of the griot by your damn self. You're gonna be carrying the podcast wing of Byron Allen's investment on your own, ma'am. I hope you've cleared your calendar because you got your work cut out for you if this fella's your wingman. And the white man is trying to sit here and act like everything's okay. He's got the hardest job in the damn room trying to act like this makes some damn sense. He's got the hardest job in the room. Now, let's be very, very clear. What the real issue here is, if you want to know why Michael Harriet's looking like a damn fool, as usual, this is what happens when you have a phony so-called black media outlet pretending that it can talk for black people. He's getting tongue-tied because he's trying to figure out how to speak to black people in a way that makes white folk happy with him. Which is why he had to sit there and talk about, well, you know, there's a white guy. Nigga, where was that sentence going? Did anybody figure out where that sentence went? That sentence took an unauthorized detour off the freeway. Did anybody see where that sentence went?
Greer said, and that, you know, there is no specific person who speaks to everyone. Just, you know, and you wouldn't say that there was like this. There's a white guy. Do you know this guy? It's a weird question, but
okay, that sentence broke apart and took a weird ass detour off the freeway. There was no off ramp. There was no sign. There were no police to guide you. That damn thing just broke off the side of the freeway and went skidding. Did anyone see where the hell that sentence went? Did anyone see where in the hell that sentence broke off to? Can we get a helicopter in the air to see if they can track down the rest of that sentence? It broke off on its own. It just said, damn it, I'm doing my own thing. Could you imagine being a grammar teacher? Could you imagine being a grammar teacher under these circumstances? It's freaking unreal for you to do something like that under these circumstances. How could you make it? How? Somebody figure out for me, how in the hell did this happen? The man don't know what he's doing. And he's got a job. And I don't know how much Byron is paying him, but whatever it is too damn much. Whatever it is too damn much. He's not a professor, but he's a professional idiot. And this is what happens when you sit up here and your purpose isn't speaking to black. Michael Harriot just showed, now this is not a joke. What I'm saying right now is dead ass serious. What I'm going to say to you all right now is dead ass serious. This is what happens when you have a phony so-called black news outlet that actually gets caught. And shout out to John for calling him up there on C-SPAN yesterday. Shout out to you, brother, for doing that. Big props to you for that, because it did expose this. This is what happens when you have a phony so-called black outlet. If you want to know why it is that these outlets need to speak directly to us and only to us, because this is what happens when you have somebody who tries to serve two masters. He can't even make it out of the gate of his own damn attempt at a sentence. He won't even make it through that. He tries it and even being teed up by everybody else, he can't make it.
There is no specific person who speaks to everyone.
And that's why you're getting tongue-tied, because you're trying to do that. You're trying to sit up here and speak to everybody. Ooh, can't make the white folks upset, can't make the black folks upset, instead of saying, I'm here to serve black folks' interests no matter who gets upset. You are illustrating exactly why you are illegitimate and unqualified to speak on our issues. You cannot speak on our issues because you're trying to serve two masters and you're failing at both. You tell me the white folk who put money into the griot who are happy with the return on their investment right now. You tell me who's happy after seeing this. You tell me who's pleased after seeing this one. Yeah, that was money well spent. That was money well spent. No. When you have these individuals come out here and they're trying to speak for every damn body, and oh, don't worry, we're going to be the Negro whisperer and the white worshiper, and everything's going to be fine. Don't worry, I can ride the fence. I can speak in both communities. I'm going to have everybody eating out of the palm of my hand. Don't worry, everything's going to be just fine. We'll be kicking it just okay. No one's going to have a problem with what I'm doing. Don't worry, nobody will be able to see through it, boss. Do you think y'all could see through this? Do you all think you could see through this? Do you think you could see through this one? This is what happens when you have an illegitimate outlet. You have an illegitimate media outlet that is not serving black people's interests. The moment they start speaking, they go off into bum nigga babble. Him and the Professor Greer, they're sitting up here babbling their way through this. You talked and you said absolutely nothing. In Professor Greer's case, she was more eloquent.
The diaspora, and then
Professor Greer was more eloquent. She sat there, well, we need to talk to everybody. She didn't say anything either. She was just more eloquent in it.
Start more substantive conversations. I definitely think that there are some conversations that black people need to have first, but the inclusive element of the griot, if people decide to tune into our various podcasts on the network, it's so that they can learn something and they can reflect.
So we can learn. So the purpose of gathering a black audience is so you can get them interested in what everybody else is talking about. She ain't said nothing
on the ways in which black people have been excluded in this country and globally over time. So yes, I've heard of the gentlemen that were mentioned, but I do think that they are they cater to a particular group of Black America and not all of Black America.
Mr. Harriet, did you want to add something?
No, I'll just echo what Dr. Griot said, and that, you know, there is no specific person who speaks to everyone. Just, you know, and you wouldn't say that there was like this. There's a white guy. Do you know this guy? It's a weird question, but I do think that as far as inclusion, you know, we look at the world and black America as a diaspora, right? And I don't.
We look at the world as a diaspora. Can somebody come get their demented uncle? Lori Lightfoot, can you come get your ex-husband? Somebody come tell Lori Thunderbird Lightfoot, we found your ex-husband, baby. He's on C-SPAN making a straight up ass of himself. Can you come get him? No. I know it's a plane trip, but you might want to come catch the red eye. Or in your case, you come red eye already. Come get your ex-husband, baby. He's on C-SPAN making a whole ass of himself. Come get him. Y'all, if he wasn't drunk before he went in there, he should have been drinking so he would have an excuse for this. This was catastrophic. This isn't cringeworthy. This is meme-worthy. Michael Harriet, more like Mumble Harriet. Shout out to Mumble Harriet. This is going to be our spokesperson. This is going to be our... From this day forward, is anybody going to be able to utter the words, Michael Harriet should speak for us? Can anyone have a lick of credibility saying that sentence?
There is no. I'll just echo what Dr. Griot said, and that, you know, there is no specific person who speaks to everyone. Just, you know, and you wouldn't say that there was like this. There's a white guy. Do you know this guy? It's a weird question, but I do think that as far as inclusion, you know, we look at the world.
Whatever that medication is they got Biden on right now to straighten him out before he goes in front of these folks to do a debate or something. Whatever that medication is, they need to get some to Michael Harriet stat. They need to get it right. Whoever the plug is, they need to get it to him stat. If there's a nigga in Harlem somewhere on 125th Street, you know, it's like, hey, bro, you got them pharmaceuticals. Yeah, bro, I got you right here. Hydrocodone. No, I don't need that. Oxycontin, I got that. Okay, I got Oxycontin for you. No, I don't need that Oxy neither. Percocet? No, I don't fool with that neither. Nigga, what the hell you want? You know that Biden. That what? Yeah, I need some of that Biden. You know the Biden, the one that stopped you from mumbling? Oh, okay, yeah. I got 2 pills left. Yeah, I need to get them. It's going to be some weird ass days out here on the pharmaceutical drug selling circuit. It's going to be some weird ass days. We used to have the Mollies. We used to have the Oxy. Now we're going to have the Biden. We're going to do that. Now we need a plug for the Biden now? Wow. Okay. I done lived long enough to see the whole damn world go crazy at this point. I lived long enough to see the whole damn world go nuts. It's just, boy, we used to have real drugs. Now I'm seeing this. Folks out here sniffing bath salts, huffing glue, dementia medications. Wow, okay. Stop the world and let me off. Let me off. Okay, I'm done. If this is what happens when you mention, I want you to also understand, this is what happens when you mention the black media to the bootleg media. They just fall to pieces. You know why? Because we've got the ear of the people and we can do something that they can't do. We can actually serve the interests of the people, unapologetic, unadulterated, uncompromised. The reason why it is so important to be uncompromising is so that when you get up and speak in public, you are not compromised. The reason he's stumbling and bumbling isn't because he doesn't know what to say. He is afraid to say it because he's already bought and paid for. There's a stamp on his ass and he is compromised. So he cannot say it. Now, if they fire his ass this afternoon, he's going to be all kinds of in your face, but he's not, he can't say it. He can't say it. He just proved why it is when John called in and said, hey, you know, y'all are talking about speak to everybody and you can't do that. He sits up here and says, sure we can, and immediately starts mumbling and stumbling because that's what happens when you try to speak to everybody. The black media has risen to prominence here because we didn't try to speak for everybody. We tried to speak for black people, and that was it. And everybody else can listen to what we got to say. They can listen to you all when the phone lines open. They can listen to you all when you show up in person. Because we are speaking in a very clear, direct, uncompromised voice. That's the difference. This is the reason why you do not want the griot or anything else speaking for you or speaking to you, because you don't know whose interest they're trying to promote when they start talking. But we know for a fact it's not yours. They have a bunch of things on their mind, but your interests aren't one of them. That's why they can't speak for us. So he proved. He was asked he was told that you all are not legitimate to be able to speak on black people's interests because you're compromised. He said, no, that's not the truth. And the moment he started attempting to even speak, he proved everything that the caller said correct. He proved it correct. Now, don't you all know? Byron Allen knows who the hell all of us are. He knows who all of us are, but there's one thing he also knows. He won't be able to compromise us. And without that, he's showing you he's not interested. So what is the griot? First of all, for the people who even care the griot even exists anymore, there's a walking right off if I ever saw one. But who is the griot serving? For all three of the people who still watch it, who is it serving? Who does it serve? I submit to you it serves nobody. I submit to you that it serves no one. And once again, big shout out to John. Folks, if you want to know why it is, you can't just be a feckless fanboy sitting in the audience, because if you do have an opportunity to call into one of these forums, confront these politicians or whatnot, you got to make sure that all you're listening and whatnot, don't just be a fanboy listening to us. You need to be able to repeat and articulate exactly what we say here. You don't have to be as eloquent or as well-spoken as I am, but if you know the damn points, take a look at it. The brother sat up there and he said what he had to say, and next thing you know, they fell to pieces. All he had to do was be accurate in his recitation of what our problem with them is, and they fell apart. The moment he was confronted in public, he disintegrated. He came unglued the second he had to speak about what we had to say in public. Now, I want to remind you all of one final lesson. Remember what I have taught you all here for over a decade.
And that
if you want to know the reason why it is that they were sitting up here stumbling and bumbling, remember what I taught you all for over a decade now. I taught you all for over a decade here that if you want to know the truth, if you want to know exactly what a black person believes,
Mr. Harriet, did you want
then
to
all you got to do is let a white man ask the questions. If you want to get the 100% authentic, genuine truth of what a black person truly believes, then let a white man ask the questions. And then you let a white man ask those questions with a camera in front of them. Oh, believe me, whatever they tell you next is going to be 100% gospel. It's going to be 100% gospel. They're not going to tell him any lies. They're not going to come across with the pro-black and the black first. They're not going to do that in front of a white man. They going to get real meek. They going to get real humble. They going to get real. We are the world. They going to get real that. I've told you that for over a decade and you just heard them. I'm giving you the 720 degrees of analysis you'll receive nowhere else. I'm giving it to you in withering detail. Take a look at all that stumbling and bumbling. All that stumbling and bumbling is because he's giving answers to a white man. It was asked from a black man, but the answers are being, when he's looking on that monitor, he sees this white man's face. He understands, I'll be damned, white folk are listening to me. I will be held accountable by the greater society for my words. All that phony faux black stuff I do on Twitter, if I pull this with this white man, I'm on the record. And I will be subject to whatever the consequences are. Tuskegee correct, just like Roland Martin, he folded like warm laundry when Richard Spencer asked him, are you a black man? He folded like warm laundry. He folded like that grandma's duster he wears at his, they call him the dashiki. Every time he gets in front of black folk, here comes the duster. But when you let a white man ask those questions, you are getting the 100% unvarnished truth. You're letting a white man ask those questions, you are getting the 100% unvarnished truth from him now. He's not gonna lie in front of that white man. He's not gonna do that. He wasn't gonna say something that he thought would offend those white folk. He let you know whose interests he's there to defend. So he's proving what I've taught you all for over a decade. If you want to know what a black person truly believes, let a white person ask the question. It doesn't matter how far or how low on the socioeconomic or socio-political ladder that white person is. You let them ask the questions. Let them ask the question. Yeah, I'm sure they were hoping we wouldn't be hearing about this. I'm sure they were hoping that we didn't know about this. Boy, this is not cringe-worthy, this is meme-worthy. But what they did prove is that everything we have said has been true. Now, here's the other thing right here. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I want you all to take a guess here. What do you think the interview process was? What do you think the interview process was? What do you all think the interview process was for him to get his job hosting this program? How much do you think Byron Allen is paying? How much do you all think Byron Allen is paying them? Paying this fella in particular. Somebody want to hazard a guess how, after hearing this as his audition, how much is he getting paid? How much is he getting paid? Now, what I want to do right now, I am not opening the phone lines to everybody. I'm going to open the phone lines to only one person. VL VentureWorks 1. You have 2 minutes to be on the phone lines here. That's the only person I'm going to allow a phone call from. VL VentureWorks 1, you need to call us up. The telephone lines are open for you only, not for anybody else. You need to get on the phone line. You need to give the mods your number there. You need to give them your area code, and you need to be on the phone lines here. You have 2 minutes or you'll be banned. But since you have so much to say, why don't we go ahead and just kick you to the front of the line here, and you can go ahead and give us a call here. The telephone number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. And I'm opening the phone lines only for VL VentureWorks here, not anybody else. So don't anybody else call. I've already told you, don't. It will not go well for you if you violate that. But I'm opening the telephone lines up just for VL VentureWorks. They've had so much to say. So why don't we go ahead and give them an opportunity to say that? That way they don't have to waste time in the chat room. They can go ahead and explain to all of us so they can get us straight. They can go ahead and explain it to all of us so we can get straight. Since we don't seem to understand and we don't get it. He can go ahead and get all of us straightened out now. So come on down through here. Hurry, hurry, step right up. Don't be shy now. There's a reason why you have us here to give you this type of analysis and this type of insight. And if anyone was wondering, first of all, you don't have to ask if they know who we are. They know exactly who we are. But if anyone was wondering if we were winning, you play this clip for yourselves. If you were wondering whether or not we're winning, you play this clip for yourself and you can see if we're winning or not. I'm going to go ahead and post the link to it there in the chat room as well so you can see that for yourselves. But if you were wondering whether or not we were winning, all I have to say is Exhibit A. All I have to say is Exhibit A. He's not on the line yet, by the way. He's not on the line yet. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get a job at the griot, or maybe it's one of Byron Allen's operatives. Hey, y'all need to quit talking about that right there. Y'all need to talk about that. Man, we got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger things to work on here. We can work on bigger things, can't we? Let me go ahead and do that there. No. Really, why not? Boy's he's got them cold feet on, so let's go ahead and hit him up. Since he doesn't want to call in, we can go ahead and give him a lifetime pass. He had his opportunity. He had his opportunity. You can go ahead and get a lifelong pass now. Don't be scared. But as I was saying to you all, if you want to know what a black person truly believes, put them in front of a white person. Let a white person go ahead and do the talking. Let a white person go ahead and speak to them. Let a white person go ahead and say, hey, I got a question for you. Let a white person ask. And then whatever you hear next, I assure you, it's the God's honest truth. It's the God's honest truth. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here, though, so y'all can go ahead and help VL VentureWorks across that great divide. I'm not going to take any phone calls here tonight, but I did want to go ahead and cover this. I know we've had a thick program tonight. And I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program here. So Black Voltron Reloaded, we appreciate that very much for you here, brother, checking in with us here as always. So thank you for that. Project Leroy, everybody here in the super chat here. So I see all of y'all on the list. So thank you very much for your support here tonight. We definitely appreciate having you for this. And definitely, if you have not click that red subscribe button. If you have not clicked that yellow notification bell, you need to do so now. I'm glad to see so many of you have come over here from the main channel, but definitely make sure you click the red subscribe button and the yellow notification bell now. This is not the main channel, so some of y'all are seeing it because it was tagged or whatever the case may be. But no, this is not the main channel. This is my secondary channel, so go ahead and make sure you click that, because the freight train is rolling on. If you haven't been to TheBlackChannel, if you haven't been to TheBlackChannelFilms.com, go ahead and go there now. Check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work at BlackChannelFilms.com. Go ahead and do that as well. Make sure we wrap up everything here. If you haven't joined us on Twitter, I want to try to do a Twitter space next week, though. Let's say this week. I want to try to do a Twitter space this week. So be looking for that also. I'm looking at doing a Twitter space this week. So definitely be on the lookout for that also. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up for you all here tonight. I want to thank all of you here for joining us. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for listening, live or recorded. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.